Now let's take a look at the video element. So we're going to use the same page that we have. I'm going to simply put in some space, and over here I'm going to type in video, tab, and you see VS Code is handy enough that it created my element for me. Now you see that the video element looks very similar to the image element. The only difference we see so far is actually the image element is self-closing and the video element is not. Okay, so far so good. Over here in SRC, we're going to simply put the path for that video, and we have it inside the assets folder, and the name of the video is actually stream of water. So I'm going to do this, save, refresh, and you see this video, actually it's not a video, but it looks like an image, shows up over here. So far so good. Okay, now the next thing we want to do is we want to add some controls. That means the play button and the timeline and stuff like that. So for that, we're going to add another attribute, and that's called controls. That's it. Save, refresh, and you see the controls show up. So now I can actually play, and you see the video is playing and the sound is playing as well. Now let's say if you do not want that particular sound to be played and you want it to be muted for the start, for default. So you can simply come in and put in another attribute that's called muted, like such, and I think the T is only one. Save, refresh, and you see this sound icon is actually muted. So if I play now, you see the sound doesn't come this time. Now, just like the image element, if you want to change the width and height, you can simply come in over here and you can put in the width to be, let's say 100, or let's say 200 this time. And the height could be something as well. So for now, we're just gonna stick with width, save, refresh, and you see that the width is 200 and the height is relative to the width. So that's pretty handy as well, right? Now that's awesome. Now one last thing that I want to tell you about the video element is a lot of times that your browser or the computer that the user is on may not allow video, or maybe something's blocked on that particular browser, or for whatever reason the video is not showable. So for that, in those cases, similar to the alt text, you will actually put a child text over here. So over here, I can actually put in some, let's say, paragraph or whatever. I can say the browser cannot show this video, like such. So let's say over here, I'm just gonna put this ZZZ over here, save, refresh, and let's say for some reason the video is not showing. In this case, that's not gonna work because the file is actually not found. So it's actually different than the alt element. But in this case, let's say for some reason, the other reasons, for browser compatibility reasons, the video is not showable, this particular text is going to show. So it's slightly different than the alt text, but it's still relevant. So I'm going to remove these ZZs, save, refresh, and yes, our video shows. But in case our browser was not compatible with this video format, this particular message would show. So with that said, I'm going to actually continue with the audio example as well, because it's actually very similar to the video example. So over here, I'm going to simply put in audio, same deal. I'm going to put in the path, which is the MP3 file, and I'm going to save, refresh, and nothing happens because I've not put in the controls. Same deal over here. Okay, so I'm going to put in controls over here, save, refresh, and since I put in controls, you see that the play button shows up. So I'm going to just simply do play, and you see that played. Right. One more option. So actually, let's go to our documentation over here to the video. Okay. So what you want to do, that's your homework, is actually scroll down and you look at the different attributes that it has. Autoplay. Nice. All right. You can play around with that. Buffered, control, cross origin. There's other options over here. One more thing is loop. All right. So you can actually loop videos as well as audios as well. So I'm sure there's a loop option over here as well. All right, so loop. All right, so I'm just for our one last thing that I want to show you, I'm going to put the loop attribute over here, save, refresh, and hit play. It's going to keep on looping. All right, perfect. So that's all I wanted to show you for these videos. Check out the documentation. It's very important. Play around with it. And one more note I just want to leave you with is that the audio element can actually take different types of sources. So that's one format of writing the audio element, which is just one particular element. And actually you can put the child is going to be the same way. You can actually put in the browser cannot play this audio. So that's the same deal as the video element, but actually it has an additional format. Let's say if you have multiple formats of the video, you would write it like this. So that's your homework. Go check it out, play around with it, and I'm going to talk to you in the next video.